All right, good morning, everybody. Happy snowy, this is Thursday, right? Happy snowy Thursday. I want to thank everybody for coming. I'm going to get my screen up here and share it so it's ready to go. Ding dong. All right. Let me just move it so I can present it. All right, so good morning, everybody. We are going to talk about STEAM and STEM and STREAM, if you want to use all of the letters of the acronym, and how we can take that content of the STEAM and push it online to our other subjects. So let's get prepared. The first thing we're going to do, because I know we've added some people throughout these couple weeks, and we don't all know each other. And if we were together as a group, we would be doing this. So we're going to do it electronically. And I'm going to put you into groups in a minute. And we are going to talk to our group. And we're going to share one praise and one ponder or one question about this whole online teaching. I know it's been difficult for some of us, but I know out of it, some great things have been happening. So I'm going to put you in a group. Mike, I don't have it.
Oh, let me make you the host. That way you'll have it. I think only the host can do the breakout rooms. We learned that yesterday. So I'm going to make you the host. And you'll have to, you or Diane will have to give me co-host back so I can still moderate things here. All right, you are now the host. You should be good to go with breakout rooms.
Okay, there we go. So we have 22. So I'm going to create just maybe about 5 rooms. So we have 4, a couple more in each room. And please accept. We're gonna do this for maybe 5 minutes and then I'll call you back. So one praise and one ponder or one question you have.
Wow, look at this room.
Hello, everybody.
This room is loaded. Poor Judy and Beth.
We outnumbered. Geek Central, I guess.
So Renee wanted us to talk about praise, something that we've done well, and then something that we have a question about or concern about as we move to this. It's going to be more and more an online platform. So who wants to start?
I can start.
Okay.
I think the praise is that this situation has forced everybody to try tools that they wouldn't have used in the normal environment, being in a classroom. And then I guess the question I have is, when we do return to some sense of normalcy, will we still continue to use all these tools that we're learning right now?
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think that teachers, we were kind of, I don't know about Judy and Beth if you were thrust into this, but it's definitely changing our mindset somewhat. And the Secretary of Education just released last evening that it's at the expectation K through 12 now for the remainder of the school year that all schools are doing planned instruction. Mm-hmm. So that definitely is a game changer that we're trying to reach out to all our kids. What do you think, Beth?
I would have to probably echo what Mike said as far as the praise goes. And Mike, I wonder how you get your backgrounds.
They're cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know that. Every single session I've been in, I think that's come up.
He needs to show it. I do it, but I just switch rooms from house to house, so it doesn't matter.
You do it old school, Diane.
I do it old school. I do have some backgrounds, but
Mike just likes to impress us with all of his geeky skills there.
Back cave thing.
Yeah. Or maybe, Mike, do you do it like with your person, like your feeling for the day, whatever your feeling is?
Look at the
Is
cars.
is that how you pick your music and your background, Mike?
Yeah, music a little bit. There are some themes maybe, but no, the backgrounds are just all nerd things.
Judy, do you have a concern, like a question as we move back into like reality?
Well, like you said, we've all been thrusted into this. So it's definitely, I mean, now I'm a student again, learning how to do all these things online, and some things work and some things don't. And, like I've Zoomed with my kids, and they're real good. They know Mrs. Bennett's not real good with technology anyway. And so they are very patient. Like if, we try to do something, it doesn't work. So I try to, just do something else until I can figure it out. And, but I, try not to show my frustration to them, as we're trying to do this, but it's just good to see them, and interact with them. And so that's a nice thing about that.
Yeah, I see that as a real benefit, Judy. That the kids, we can't be experts at everything.
Right. And they know that. They know that. So.
Stacy, what's it meant for you? I know that you're so dedicated. You're here every single session. I don't think she can hear us, Mike.
No, yeah, I'm cutting out.
I know you have sometimes some challenges.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's really good, and other times it just kind of fades in and out the sound.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think Renee is calling us hither.
All
Yes.
right.
All right, going back to the big room.
Great, we're coming back in, I see. Most of us are back. Wonderful. So, of course, we had time to collaborate and to discuss and talk. So I'm going to have a couple of you share out. Does anyone want to volunteer?
I'll volunteer.
Or who said yes?
Sarah.
Sarah?
In our group, we said the praises are that teachers have been very flexible and accommodating with all the new changes that are coming, it seems like every 5 minutes. And then the other praises for the IU and all the awesome trainings you guys are giving us and helping us to get through this. And then our ponders were, how much is the summer slide going to increase even more than it already is? What are PSSAs going to look like, because kids are missing a quarter of their instruction? And what's going to happen next? We were talking about the letter that came from PDE last night that's saying that they're expecting all school districts be giving planned instruction. Like, what does that look like, especially with districts that don't have great internet access?
That was a great question. And the one about the PSSAs, Mike, Diane, and I were just talking about that yesterday. So you're not alone in that question. Those were some great questions. We thank you for the praise. It is our honor, honestly, to come and reach the great teachers that we have online. So you guys make it easy for us. You really do. So does anybody else have a praise and a ponder they want to share out? Anybody?
Real quick. We were talking a little bit how, as parents, we're trying to make the balance of even teaching our own children. I'm just pondering how our families truly handling all this, because we are very unique. That we have the experience of being teachers, but even we gripe with our own kids and struggle in getting the information to them that we feel is appropriate. And it boggles my mind that we have families that, you know, very well have no patience, let alone
Absolutely.
ability sometimes of being able to help their kiddos, and probably want to, but then again, you got families who don't want to. So how is the other half living, so to say?
It is a real struggle, isn't it? I mean, it's, you know how frustrated you can get with your kids at times. And, you know, some of these people that really have no background like we do, and they're forced into this situation. How are they coping? You're absolutely right. That's a great question. That's a great
One
question.
of my biggest fears with all this was really truly the outcome of kids' learning opinions and how they feel about school, because it could be one way or the other. They're going to love school again and be all in, or they're going to be totally fried and hate it even more. So that scares me a little bit. But again, the flip side could be they come back ready to rip and roar with us. So
yeah, that a new appreciation for their teacher, right?
Yeah.
And again, as teachers, we adapt, so we will be okay. But yeah, it is scary looking to the future of what we're going to see. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I want you to know that by doing this, you've already done one of the steps of STEM. You've already, how come it's not? You've already, there we go. You've already been collaborating. You've already been communicating. That's a big part of the STEM or STEAM initiative as it is. STEM or STEAM has that great acronym, and Mike and Diane will tell you, I love acronyms. But if you don't know what STEAM is, those are the words down below. It's science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. They're throwing the arts in because a lot of times what the kids are producing has that art flair to it. And if you want to go as far as to add the R for STREAM, it could be research, it could be religion, it could be robotics. So it's a vast array of what you can do. But we're going to take a look at STEAM and how we can kind of incorporate some of that in our lessons that we're doing. I'm sure most of you guys already are. We're just going to kind of flare it up a little bit. So if you haven't already been in one of our sessions, just a couple little housekeeping things. Please make sure you're on mute. There is a chat box in the bottom that you can type questions, or Mike likes to give his own personal little quotes in there. But you can put your question or your answer or just something you want us to know in the chat bar, and we'll be happy to look at those. And if there's any questions, Mike and Diane will be moderating for me, and they will ask and we will answer, hopefully. It will also be recorded. So I know there's a couple of you from West Branch that say you have a faculty meeting at 11. So this will be recorded for you, that you can hop back on and see how we ended and what else we did. So if there's no further questions or anything, let's go for it. I'm going to try and minimize this. So one thing we're going to do, and I will say, I used to start this off with, I'm just trying to move my bar here so I can work. I like to do puzzles. I don't know if I've seen a lot of people now since they're at home working on puzzles, but this is one thing I always like to do with my kids. And this is a great intro to, it could be an introduction to what you're going to teach. It could be a great review. It could be just an interest starter. So we're going to do now, we're going to do a puzzle that I have made for you guys, and I will put this, I will copy it, and I will put it in the chat. So all you have to do is click it. Hopefully, we kind of worked this out yesterday. So you should be able to click that. It is just, it's an e-puzzle. It's very easy for those of you that want to try. You basically take a picture of what you want the kids to put together. You download it, and it will show you where to stick it in. And then you decide how many pieces of the puzzle you want. Once you decide that, you basically set it up, you create it, you send your kids the link, and they're going to complete it. Now, give me a thumbs up if you are on this link and you see what I see. I see a thumbs up from Mike. I feel like Patty at Romper Room. By the way, she never said my name. I'll wait a couple minutes. You should be seeing what I have on my screen at this time.
I've never done this before. Am I going to lose my connection with you?
You shouldn't.
Okay.
You shouldn't. Hi, Lillian.
Hi.
So I think, let me see, I think
I usually just escape to get out of their full screen and then pull up another tab and put it in, and then you can maximize their screen again.
okay. So what you're going to do, you're going to click on Famous Faces. You should, I'm sorry, down here, Compose Puzzle. And what comes up is a nickname. So you're going to put your name or a nickname. It's totally up to you. I'll just put me. And then the country. And then you're going to push play. And I will show you when you push play, there's your puzzle, okay? So by clicking it, if you click that and then you move it to the space that you want to, it automatically shifts. Okay, does everyone understand? I'm going to give you a couple minutes to go ahead and play with that on your computer and see if you can put this picture together. It is the Famous Faces of STEM, I will tell you that. So I'll move that one up there and see if you can figure out who these people are. So go ahead and try. When you're done, it will tell me you are done.
I'm completely lost. I finally got the,
Okay.
this is Lillian. I finally got the jigsaw puzzle online screen. What do I do
Okay.
now? Sorry.
All right, so just a sec. So are you there? Is that what you are?
Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna hit Compose Puzzle.
Okay.
That's almost like a go. Do you
Right.
see where it says nickname?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and type in your name,
Okay.
and then you're in the United States, and then hit play.
Okay.
When you do that, the puzzle pieces should come up.
I see it. Okay.
Okay, now you can just play, put that puzzle together.
When I opened up that puzzle screen from the chat, I lost everything else.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, my puzzle didn't even open up.
Like I only see the view of people. Like I can't go back. I have no chat. I don't see your screen at all. I have no
Right.
way to put anything
Mike?
up. I just have people's faces on the gallery view.
It's likely that Zoom is running in full screen. So if you move your pointer to the top of the screen and see if you can change the view from full screen, or press the escape key may help. But sometimes when you're running any of the applications in full screen, it's hard to move among them. I mean, I don't know what kind of device you have, but on a PC, you can try Alt-Tab to switch among things that are open. And on a Mac, it is Command-Tab. Chromebook, I can't remember.
Okay, so Joan, do you have the link? That you
Yeah,
can
well, I
copy and
see it
paste
there, but I can't it's not letting me copy it. I can't copy it.
We had this problem yesterday, but we fixed it, right, Mike? I thought.
Yes, it seems like people were able to copy. Control-C, if your right click doesn't work when you highlight that text. So we have,
Yeah, I can't do
so it
anything.
looks
I
like some
can't even
people
get
are
out to-
unable to copy from there.
Yeah, I can't even get out to get another tab.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that sounds like something's running in full screen.
Yeah, I got off that even, and I still can't do it.
So Nikki, so you can't even get in to type in the browser.
No, I can't get out of Zoom.
Did you push escape?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does
Downside.
mine does nothing when you push escape.
What kind of computer are you using?
HP laptop.
Okay, so it's Windows.
Okay, Nikki said she did the puzzle fine.
I did too, but do you know that we do it? Is it a link that it
Yes,
then tells you we
I'm
did it?
scrolling down. Can you still see my screen where it says Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's telling me who is done. So Nikki right now is the winner, or she's in the lead. She finished it in 1:09 seconds.
Yeah.
And then me, that was me. And then Red Rover, that was me. Bakes and Sean. So it's telling me who has completed this. So as you, the teacher, you'll be able to see who is doing who's participating and who, or should I say, who finished it and who did not.
Okay, because I did it, but it obviously didn't show up as me doing it through you, so to say.
Right. I won't see it as a teacher until you are done. So those of you that were able to do the puzzle, did you have any problem with it?
I can only get one side of it. Like there seems to be two sides to the puzzle, and I can only access the one side. So I got part of it completed, but I can't get to the other side to figure that part out.
Huh.
So I have the part with Albert Einstein and can't read all the names.
Sally Ride.
No, she's the one I don't have. I can't get to
Oh.
her.
Okay.
So I don't know why, but I have part of it done, but the rest of it I can't get to
Okay.
finish it.
Okay.
But it's fun.
It is a lot of fun. And I wanted to show you this because you could do this just to kind of pique their interest as an opening, and then you can revert back to it at the very end as a STEM challenge. So that is, I'm just looking at the chat. That is just a puzzle basically that you could do. And really, it can be done for anything. All you'd have to do is load whatever picture you wanted in there. You could either even do names of things. You can do just pictures. Yes, or on Tuesday, Mike had just pictures to match. You could even do things like that. Just put pictures up and then have them try and guess what we're going to talk about. But if you had to look at this, we're going to try and talk about some famous faces of STEM, but we're going to kind of come back around to that. But that is one thing, and honestly, it is very easy to do. It took me maybe 5 minutes at the most to do it because it just takes you through step by step by step. Download this picture. How many pieces of it do you want? And then you just paste that URL out and send it out to your kids. You could do it in Google Classroom, and then they can just get on and do it. And again, down here on the Hall of Fame, it shows you exactly who has completed it at the time. It's fun. It is fun. They can go back and do it again if they want. It just kind of keeps track. They do have to write a name on there so you know who has done it. So that's that. And as you can see, I've also put on here the QR code. So it can be done on the phone as well, or an iPad. If they have a way to take a picture, they can do it that way too. So if the URL is not working, like some of you found out. All right. So, and if you did not get a chance to see it, that is the puzzle. One thing I will tell you, once we do get back to normal school, I do have this puzzle, like physically, that the kids could put together. It's a great starter It's a great discussion on some STEM faces, and it leads to some great research too. So if you are interested in that puzzle, you just let me know and I will shoot you the pieces to it, and you will have it for your own keeping. But these are some famous faces of STEM. We have, if you don't know, we have Sally Ride is first, Albert Einstein, George Washington Carver, Thomas Edison, Steve Jobs, Benjamin Franklin, Leonardo da Vinci, and then Marie Curie. So that's one thing. And then there are their names are also underneath too, that they could put them together. That's a fun puzzle to do, I will say. So by doing that, I want to show you that STEAM is in every part of our learning facet, especially now that we are online. I mean, it's STEM and STEAM and STREAM is problem solving. And that's what we've been doing now for about 6 weeks. We've been problem solving. So you are right in the midst of STEM, and you probably have become very, very proficient in it. But STEAM is in every part of our learning, from the very young to the very old. And I like to tell people that, to me, the first STEAM people were farmers, because they had to problem solve on how they were going to fix their machinery to get their planting in, and how they were going to harvest those crops. So to me, honestly, the first STEM people were farmers. Just because I'm a farmer, I guess I take that. But it goes from young to old. No one is really void of it. So STEAM is not going anywhere away anytime soon. So why not face it head on? And we're going to embrace what it can bring to our sessions. We're going to try and kind of let you infuse some fun and some new ways that you can bring STEM in and still kind of maintain some of that, not assessment piece, but how you can kind of assess what they're doing. So here's our goals for today. We're going to understand what STEM and STEAM is, and we're going to try and incorporate it into your lessons easily. So let's go on. All right, let's get started. So let's take a look at this. You see I have 3 different cards up here. And the first part I want to know is, what is your comfort level of STEM or STEAM? We have Flintstones, we have the Batmobile for Mike. Mike, that's for you. And then we have the Jetsons. So on your lines, on your comfort level of STEM or STEAM, where is your comfort level? So just type that into the chat if you would. Are you the Flintstones? Are you the Batmobile? Or are you George Jetson? Of course, Mike. Of course, Batman. Oh, good. We have some people that are right about in the middle, the Batmobile. That's great. That's great. Flintstones. Oh, maybe Batmobile. That's great. So I'm glad you guys have a little bit of understanding of STEM. I'm sure you've heard the term. I'm sure you've probably have seen us come into your schools and talk about the Lending Library and what's in it to help you promote STEM and STEAM. But let me tell you, STEM is literally problem solving. We talk about STEM without the stuff at the IU, because you don't need, although all that stuff is good and it's great and it really enhances it, you don't need all of that stuff to truly have a STEM challenge. So I'm glad, what does Nikki say? I'm a music teacher. So hey, STEAM, great. That is, Nikki, we can put a lot of music into some of our challenges as well. So another question I have for you, and I just want you to think about this, on the right-hand side, how has it evolved? If you look at these 3 cars, they have evolved over time. And this is a great STEM challenge right here, just to ask the kids, you know, how have they evolved from the Flintstones to George Jetson? We've come a long way in our definition of what a car is. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have materials right in front of you. Right here's an easy way. You can put up 3 different pictures and just have the kids talk and discuss and collaborate and kind of examine how we have evolved And this is just with the car. So it's a lot of different things you could do with just pictures alone. So, you know, a lot of people say, I don't have stuff at home to do the STEM challenge and things like that. You don't always have to have stuff to do a STEM challenge. This is a great intro to STEM right here, and talk about how things have evolved, how they have problem solved to make it better. So how can STEM be incorporated into our everyday teaching? These are some words that, they were some words that when you think about STEM, you might see. All right, first of all, STEM is not a standalone thing. A lot of people think that when we talk about STEM, that's another 15 minutes into their day that they have to plan for something. Absolutely not. STEM is made to be incorporated into all your different subjects. And this promotes the best type of thinkers. I love it when I go into classes and see teachers using STEM and having them let their kids collaborate, and some of the questions that those kids are looking at, some of the way that they're looking at things. They're not just letting it use one idea and that's it. They're talking about what if we do this? How can we do this? So it's providing some of the best thinkers that you're going to have in your classroom. And it is meant to enrich your classroom. It is meant to be added with those core subjects to kind of bring about and lift them up. And it involves real world application. And you know, we're in a great problem right now that would be great to have the kids kind of problem solve and see how they could at least, you know, give their little input in it. And if anything, I can tell you, start small. You don't want to do this huge, big product or project that is overwhelming to you as well as your kids. Start small. Incorporate those three little pictures of the cars, that I just did right there. Those three little pictures are starting small. It's showing the kids, how can I move and show how they've adapted this problem, how they've made it better and pushed it out to looking well. All right, so that's how we're going to incorporate it into our teaching. It's not going to be some huge movement that, you know, we're going to have to plan for hours. It's just going to tweak some of our lessons. We're going to put some of these in. So some things, I just have some things that I want you to think about when you're planning your lessons, maybe adding this or having this question in. You could recreate an invention or a technology that was created long ago. All right, let me show you. This is one, and I love this. I spent, when I first found it, I spent like 3 hours just playing with it. It is called Brush Ninja, and I will put that in the chat as well. Hopefully you guys will be able to bring it up. It is just brush.ninja.com. And if you go to that, let's spell it right. If you go to that, you're going to come up with a Brush Ninja, okay? Now this is mine, and it literally, what it is, it's an animated tool, okay? So it gets the kids kind of mapping out, almost like a timeline if you want. I used it as an animation. And my question was, think of something that they used in the olden days that has been problem solved and promoted so that it's now a lot better. So as you can see, I kind of put, let me move this. As you can see, I have a broom. So watch what happens when I press this. You will see it moving, and I have now evolved into a Swiffer. That is a Swiffer. My plan was great. But I would love to show you how to do this. It's very, very easy again, and it's very fun. When you come up here, you're going to see, here's a new one. I'm just going to click new. This is free. This is free. So you're going to click a new one, and then you get a blank screen just like that, okay? You have over here, you have the settings. This is where it kind of gets fun. If you push the settings, you're going to see, you can search for an image online. You can select a color, use your own image, or remove the background. You have background, you have animation, and you have editor. Background is basically, I'm going to search for an image. Let's say I'm going to have, I'll show you, I'll do the floor again just to show you. So I'm going to type in floor, and from that, there they give you different images of floors. So you can pick one. I'm going to maybe pick this one this time. Easy as that. You click use this image. Use this image, and there you have it. Now you can create your background, okay? Or you have your background, you can create what you want. This tab up here where you see the pencil, if you click on that, you're going to see many different things that you can do with it. This is a pencil, and here's how thick your lines are. These are shapes, so if you want to put a star on there, you can put a star. Maybe. Let me make it a different color. All right. Oh, goodness, there we go. So you can put a star on there. If you don't like it, you can go up here, just hit review or back, and it goes off. Okay, so those are different shapes that you can use. These are lines. You can draw different lines if you want to. And it's just a line like that. Again, if you don't like it, you can erase it or just do the back button. And then we have ABCs if you want to type. You can give the kids a chance to type. What kind, how bold do you want it? This is a new invention. Okay, so when you apply it, there it is. Whoops. There you go. All right. And you can put it anywhere. You can move it, put it anywhere. Again, if you don't want it, just take it off and it's there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to drawing. I'll show you this one. This is an eraser. You can either do that or go back up to this. And this I will show you when we're all done. So I'm going to go back to drawing. And I'm going to use the sweeper again. So I'm going to make a little bit thicker line this time. And basically, you're just drawing it on. Okay, so you will see at the bottom, here's the slide I've just done right here. Okay, I'm going to, because I want to make it animated, I'm going to duplicate that. That's what this is here. And this is where that fun part comes in that I showed you about. If you go up here to this little wrench, it gives you things that you can do. And this is where my animation is going to come in because this is going to rotate it. So I'm going to rotate it. And all you have to do is hit that and then move it. All right. So there's my next frame. And if you look down here, you can see the progression of how I'm moving it. All right, I want to move it again. So I'm going to duplicate it, still have this up here, and I'm just going to turn it a little bit more. And you will see down here, this shows you how it is. Now, so let's say I want to watch it. To make sure this is what I want, all you have to do is click this little arrow, and it will show you. It's sweeping whatever. Stop it when you're done. Now, one other thing I want to show you, if you go back up to the settings, you're going to see animation, and this frames per second. So this tells you per second how many of those frames you're going to see. That's a little too fast for me, what I saw, so I can take it down to 5. Let's try 5, and then I'm going to apply it. So now when I try it, let's try it now, see if it's slower. See, it's a little bit slower, so it kind of helps that animation. Okay, so then you can go down and then you can put a new slide in and then make how it has created. Because of time, I'm just going to kind of let you have fun with that. That's how you create that. Easy, easy. Now you can go back up here. You will see when you're all done, save. And it saves it into your little Ninja, Brush Ninja pile. So you will have that. So if you want to export it, you can do that as well. I have too many tabs up. As the editor, you can change that as well. Now, I will tell you, this guy is, the man that created this is it's free. It's a free service. He wants to keep it free. So as he gets funds, then he kind of creates more and ups more. But you can send it out. I apologize. My dogs are in here now, and they're just moving along. If you want to export it, you can export it and you can save an image or you can send it where you want to. A lot of times what I did, I just gave the teacher my account and she got on and looked. But this is a lot of fun to help kind of create your experiment, create your timeline, and kind of do some inventions that way. So that is Brush Ninja. That's a lot of fun. You can easily get caught up and spend time on that. So I was gonna have you guys do that, but I see it's already 1/4 after. So we're just gonna move on. STEM is like my baby, and I could talk forever on STEM. So I'm gonna try and brush it up. So another thing you could do is solve some everyday problems faced by a culture or faced by the environment or faced by a problem that is really hitting your area at the time. And I put in the face mask because that's a big thing now. I just read online the other day, there are 6 different face masks out there and they kind of showed which one is the best one. And basically what they did, they problem solved to try and find one that would settle and be a barrier for all of these. So you can take that as to what you're teaching and kind of find a problem out of that subject area that might be hitting your area. You can improve or modify an invention previously made. And I used 2 different pictures. The one on the left, believe it or not, is an iPhone 4. And the one on the right is an iPhone 11 Pro, which I don't have that. I have I think a 10. I'm not sure. I don't even know. It's a phone. It works. But that's a great way even to have them download pictures and to kind of show how it has evolved, especially with iPhones. They change every 6 months. So they would have a lot of pictures to show that they could make a timeline of that. So you could use, you could have an invention that they want to research and kind of show and move towards that to show how it's improved. Another one is to take a particular theme across time. And I kind of did it with the trains, just to kind of show the old steam trains and how it's progressed to these speed trains that go 8,000 miles a second. It's great for the kids to kind of see that and then discuss it. They could put it on a storyboard and then work from there, or even Padlet and work from there and have other students kind of comment on that and open up that discussion. And they can investigate individual inventors. And that kind of brought me back to our puzzle that we did when we first started. These are some additional inventors. It's great to see who has invented what out there. And I think the kids don't always understand that everything that they see or do or use was once an invention. So I think that's a great way to show the kids that, you can fail and you can still keep trying, because eventually great things are going to come of you problem solving. And we're also, one thing I wanted to explain to you too, one great thing about the STEM or STEAM is their documentation. It's great to see what they're doing, but you want to make sure that they are documenting how they got it and the steps that they used for that. And I don't know if you've seen this, it's called Penn Zoo. And if you go to pennzoo.com, basically it is a journal. And this is what's great because you can use this journal for just about anything, truthfully. When you get on, you will have to sign in. Now the basic is free, but you could go pro or pro plus. That's an additional cost. What you get, just get more backgrounds. To me, the basic works fine. And if you can see, it basically looks like a journal book, a composition book. It's Renee's journal, and it's very easy to use. If you look under my name, you'll see new entry. Beside it, you can view entries. Like if I were to click that, you would see I already have one on here that I could click and read it. This is just some journal settings, and truthfully, if you don't have the Pro, except for the font and things like that, it's really not for you. And then if you want to lock your journals, like your diary, so no one sees it, you can do that. But here's how easy it is. You can just type in new entry. And this is great. I know a lot of you guys would do like the morning message board. So this would even be a great thing to do, even on a side note without STEM, that you could give them a morning question or a weekly question and they could fill it in. So, you know, if I wanted to say, what's your greatest invention? All right, so I, as a teacher, could ask them that. It lists right here the date that they're responding. And then here's where they're gonna type their entry. The greatest is toilet paper. Just a little funny, okay? Now you notice over here, automatically saves. You don't have to save it. You don't have to do anything. It automatically saves. So once I'm all done, if I were to come over here and view my entries, it's right there. It tells me when they did it and if they shared it. They can share it. You can export the journal, okay? Or you could do a new entry, okay? I, as a teacher, can come in here and take a look at what they've done, if they've shared it with me, and I can respond to them as well. This is a great, great online tool that is free. Like I said, the basic is free, but as a STEM educator, as a STEM teacher, this is great for me to see the progression of their STEM question, of their challenge. You know, what have they found out? How are they going to work toward it? And then what were the problems that they had? Or, like I said, you can use this as really just a writing assignment that you can kind of look at their writing and keep the journal entries on. I really like Penn Zoo because it is so easy to set up and to do. And like I said, it's the kids have it. They have their all of their views, all of their journals that they can go back. If they want to go back and edit it, they can see it. Okay, so that is Penn Zoo. I suggest you try to get on there and try it a little bit, record some answers, and even give them a question to try and tackle. But documentation is the big thing that, to me, is for the STEM challenge. So, you know, we know what it is now. So how can we use it? What is it going to do for my classroom? And how can I use it in my classroom? So one thing, and I talked about this last week, was a choice board. And if you look, I kind of used this as a 5-dayer choice board. So each day of the week, they're going to have a STEM challenge. They can do one of the two, and then they will record it and send it back to me. That's why I did STEAM. If you only want 4 out of the 5 days, then you do a STEM one. I use this one. I kind of brought this up because next week is Recycle. It's Earth Week, Earth Day. So I kind of took some of those. And you can look, create a poster telling a friend how to recycle. Some of these are very basic, very easy, but they're very easily pushed into and incorporated some of the things that you'll be teaching. But I will caution you that if you do this, you want to use some of these words. You need to have some of these words for them, like draw, evaluate, summarize, test, develop, create, explain, identify, build, imagine. These are the words that kind of go along with the STEM challenge and the STEM thinking. So you want your kids to start developing that sense of questioning. So these are the words that you're going to want to use. So when you go back and do your choice board, you're going to want to plug some of those in. Like I have create a poster, measure the distance from your porch to your road, things like that. These are action words because STEM is filled with action as well. So that kind of brings me down to any questions. I hope this has kind of helped you a little bit. It's very easy to kind of incorporate some of these in. Like I said, STEM is not a standalone subject. STEM is little things that you can incorporate into your own teaching just to give them some activity and some problem solving and make them become some of those critical thinkers that we need and use their creativity, because we have seen through this epidemic, we've seen that there have been some great creativity come out of this. So we're hoping that you can kind of expand it into your kids and have them create some great challenges and great problem solving as well.
Renee, there's a question in chat about, with the use of all of these other sites, some parents are concerned about privacy, and are there any suggestions that for how to respond to those issues?
Well, I will say, like with the Penn Zoo, it is, you fill it out, you sign up yourself. So unless you give someone else your password, they're not going to have it. Now, I will say the Brush Ninja, I do not believe there was a password to that, so that is probably open to anyone. But I would say just kind of make sure that you're looking at programs that have a password to go with it, or it's under yours that you're creating. That's probably what I would say.
For younger students, I believe in Pennsylvania, the age is 13. When a student reaches 13, they really are allowed to create accounts. That's why Facebook's, if you ever wondered why is Facebook's age restriction 13, even though all you have to do is lie about your birthday, but that's why. 13 is the legal age where they can make accounts. In my past job, the district I worked for strongly urged teachers not to have the kids make accounts on websites until they hit about 9th grade, because then we were pretty certain they were all 13. But if it doesn't have a login, they're not providing any information, then there's probably not much concern there. But if you were to have them sign up, even clicking through with a Gmail account that they may have from the school, or in Mo Valley's case, it would be a Microsoft account. And I don't know at what age those kids start having those accounts either. Some districts, 4th grade, they might start giving email accounts, but the younger kids don't. So it all depends. But even if they're logging through with an Office 365 account, or if a Google account, they're technically still logging in. And there is an agreement there that says we can use your information. Now, the only thing I will add to that is that most districts have already checked with their solicitor when they are issuing those email addresses. The parents obviously know they have the email address. And most, it's like a tacit approval. They can fill out a form and say, no, I don't want my kid to have an email address. So if it's a district issued account, it's probably safe. But I mean, if you're really, really worried from a legal standpoint, check with your administrator. And I don't know what grades you're working with, but I can see in the chat, some districts are starting now in kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
Giving accounts. Yep.
Wow.
and the kids are so used to working in this. You know, for us, as some of us who are veteran educators, this is a big paradigm shift to move online. You know, we're logging into all this stuff, but for the kids, you know, you go when we used to be able to go to restaurants, you'd see kids that are like can run an iPad better than I can at 5 years old. Yep. So they're kind of the digital natives, as we call them.
Yes, they are. So I hope that helped, Lillian.
Any other questions? And you can certainly unmute. While we're waiting, I will mention that beginning tomorrow, we are moving, and we actually have already moved all of our content over to the IU10 webpage from our mini site that you used to join us today. You may have noticed a banner at the top of that page now saying that that move is happening. That is in an effort to consolidate everything. So our special ed and training and consultant folks are actually doing a lot of workshops as well. So the IU has asked that we combined everything. So starting basically tomorrow, all of our sessions are going to be on the main IU webpage. In fact, I'll just take one moment here to show you that, since we do have a minute, just so everybody sees where it is. And hopefully that will help you find the future stuff. It's going to look a little different. So here is our main site. And you have here the remote learning toolkit. That's where we're going to go. And when you click there, the main page, here are all the upcoming things. So in fact, there's today's, but if we go down, so here is Learning Cafe, which is Renee's on the 21st. And you'll just click there and it will open up. And then right here, 2 places, there's the link to join us. So everything is there. And if you're looking for our older stuff, you'll see that there is a calendar here. So our archives, we'll leave the mini site up. So if you're used to going there, you can still see it. But if you want to go back to March, here are all those older things we did. So if you're like, oh, I need to go back to Google Classroom, clicking on that will take you back. In fact, this is a bad example. This is one I forgot to record. But this is where you'll get the recordings to the other sessions. So let's try here. And then you'll click here, and then this will, of course, open it up in YouTube. Okay? So that's where everything will be housed now. So again, you just come to our homepage and then click on that toolkit that's going to come up, the remote learning toolkit. We've also added from the special ed site, all of these resources that are in different categories. So if you're looking for some math resources, clicking there will bring up a document that has the resources they've compiled in special ed and TAC. So everything you need is right here.
And if I could just remind you guys, if you are using our resources and some of the things that we've been putting up here, we would love to see how you've done it. We have a resource page. Mike, do you want to show them that? And that you can get on and kind of highlight what you've done with this. We'd love to see how you're using it in the classroom.
Yeah,
and,
so
yep, go ahead.
On this same page, you'll just come in here to where it says free resources. And on that page, this is all stuff that other people have submitted to us. So we're asking you to learn, we can learn from one another, especially in this time that's really important, but you just come here and you can take anything you want here, but you can also click here and it will just give you a real simple Google form. And if you have a resource, you have a website that you're using that really worked well, or maybe it's an article that people should read about online learning, you can submit there and share some resources with us.
And Lillian, you know, I see that, you know, you're worried about violating the privacy of students. This would probably be a great thing for you to get on and kind of look at what other teachers have done and look at what they've created. And if there is any problems, then, you know, that would show up there too. So that might be a great resource for you to kind of find some safe ones that you know for sure you won't violate your students' privacy.
Thanks.
Our virtual office hours, we're going to run those through the end of this month. We haven't had a tremendous response to that. We've had about 3 people stop in. But if you need some extra help or you have questions or you need a tip, or you want to share something with us, we meet at 9 and at 3. And these, again, on our main site now, these links will take you and open that Zoom meeting at those times. We'll only be in there for that half hour. So if you visit at any other time, you're just going to go to an empty room and you can talk to yourself, which is what I do most of the time. Anything else? Does all this make sense, everyone, where it's moved on the site? So you're just going to use the calendar to find the archives.
Again, we're here for you. So, you know, if you can't make it to either one of those sessions and you still have a question, all 3 of our emails are there. We'll be more than happy to talk to you and answer any questions you have. And again, we thank you for participating. You guys have been great, and we look forward to what all you're doing with your kids.